coach, our featured speaker today is someone who has worked really hard at being herself when others tried to really box her in and judge her. So you're going to hear her story. She's incredibly resilient. She is a two-time elite coach. She's a 7-star diamond. She's been coaching since 2012, so almost 7 years. She was featured in a Hammer and Chisel infomercial. And she noted here that she hit elite in 2019 after starting 2018 with only one working coach. Get that. So she is from Scottsdale, Arizona. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronda Race. Hey, Ronda.
Thank you so much, Sandy.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I've had the pleasure of talking with you a few times before this call and finding out who you are. So why don't you share with the audience a little bit about how you got started?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. So first of all, such an honor to be on this call. It's been on my vision board for 5 years to be a part of this. And I'm going to try not to cry when I tell my story. But if I can do this, anybody can do this. And when I first became a Beachbody coach, we had just filed bankruptcy. Not only had we just filed bankruptcy, but we had owned 2 businesses that were personally guaranteed. So we owed over 6 figures to the government. So not just bankrupt, but 6 figures. We sold the furniture out of our driveway to pay for a moving truck. And I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. And so literally was in New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and my husband had a job opportunity in Texas, so we up and left. And didn't know a single soul, didn't know anything about social media, was not a Beachbody coach, hadn't worked in years. And when I became a Beachbody coach, I want to share with you a little bit more about some things you may not know about some of the coaches you follow, especially myself here. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't know how to upload a photo on Facebook or any social media platform. When you told me, copy a URL, I thought it was a piece of candy. Like I literally had no experience any way, shape, or form. We were shopping at the dollar store for food. Often, I'll be honest with you guys, I really struggled with who I was as a person. I feel like all of my life, people kind of judged me for, the blonde hair, the eyelashes, looking like I had it all put together. And in fact, my entire life was crumbling. And so that's kind of where we were before Beachbody. And you know what? That's not my story anymore, but I want to share with you guys. I was broken. I was lost. I had no clue who I was.
Rhonda, I'm gonna ask you to speak up a little bit. It's a little low in volume, and look right at the camera. And I didn't mean to interrupt your story, but you definitely had a tough beginning before becoming a coach. So take us into, you become a coach. You didn't know very much about social media, and now we're having you talk about something regarding social media. So take us through that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So in all honesty, your voice and your brand on social media is the one thing that will separate you from everybody else. And obviously you heard my story. I had no clue who I was. So how do I have this voice? How do I build a brand and a following on social media if I'm trying to figure out who I am? So I actually want to talk about one of the vital behaviors that is ridiculously the best one. It is the one that I skipped as a brand new coach, but I want to talk about what I did and how I implemented it into my social media to build my brand. So personal development. And I struggled as a new coach as I would watch so many of you guys reading these amazing books. And you're like, oh, this is the book that changed my life. It changed my business. I can do anything now after reading this book. And so I would go and I would grab this book and I would read it half the time falling asleep. I would finish the book, maybe, and I got nothing out of it. And I remember as a coach at the time, I was thinking, why am I not getting anything out of these books when people are saying this is the one thing that is going to grow your business, your brand, who you are? People are going to be able to relate to you because you're feeding your mind, you're doing all this stuff, and nothing. And I have to tell you, it was a huge gut check. I felt stupid. I felt like I wouldn't be a good coach. Nobody could relate to me. And here's what I did to change that. I stopped listening to what everybody else was reading. okay? And I started looking in my heart of the one area that I needed to grow to connect with my followers. And for me, you know, like I said, you might seem like I've got it all together, but I've always struggled with confidence. I've struggled with who am I? What's my purpose? What am I here for? And so many other women and men have the same exact struggle. So what I did is last year, especially in my business, I just honestly dug into personal development that I needed as a person. But I want to take it a little bit deeper, because the other thing that I implemented on how I made this work is I don't like to read. And I don't know how many of you guys feel the same. If you guys love to read, that is so amazing. I wish I did. I can't stand it. I would rather do 20 loads of laundry. So what I did is I started actually getting all of my books on Audible. And I started listening to my books in the hidden minutes within my day. And how did I grow my social media with this? I went on social media and I shared with them that, hey, you might think I got all my crap together, but I don't. I'm really struggling with who I am as a person at 43 years of age and where I'm going and who I'm taking with me. So I'm going to start to hold myself accountable. I'm going to start sharing my personal development here on Instagram stories, on Instagram, on Facebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking notes. So when I would do the Audible, I would take notes and I share those notes on my social media. How does this grow my following? In all honesty, you guys, it makes me relatable. I have the same struggles that every other person has. And when I put it out there on social media that I'm trying to grow my confidence, I'm trying to be the best mom I can, everybody goes, oh, me too. So there's 3 books last year that I want you guys to write down that were a game changer in this area of my life. And I will continually always get stronger in this, but I'm always going to need a little help in this area. So the first book was 100 Days to Brave. It taught me I can be brave. The other one was Like She Owns the Place. I felt like I could do anything after that book. And then the third was Uninvited. And you bet every single time I read these books on social media, I went and shared it. I shared it as a part of my day. And I let them know that I could help them through this too, that I am no more different or special than them. So building my voice, my brand was honestly being vulnerable in who I am. Why are we not sharing this aspect of what you're struggling with, where you need to grow, so that people can go, oh, I'm just like you. And then I've attracted the right followers because they're like, oh, well, she's doing these things too, and I need help with it. So they come to my page each day to find out what I'm reading, what I'm sharing, and how they can grow in the same areas that I've struggled with. So my brand and my voice of what I'm feeding the mind is exactly where your business is going to go. But I want you to realize it doesn't always have to be reading a book. Now, I do still get books, but what I do is I sit down, I highlight them. So throughout the year, I can go back to these highlighted areas and I can focus on what spoke to me in that minute. But I'll tell you, Audible's my jam. I can, while I'm putting makeup on, do the laundry, I can be listening and then putting some little notes on my phone and then sharing it with my social media and be like, oh my God, look what spoke to me today. I felt this big this morning. Now I can do anything. And then they feel like they can do it too. One of the other things I want to share with you guys that was a huge gut check last year for me is becoming a good challenger and sharing it on social media has grown my following so tremendously that I want to share with you one of the things I did that I don't understand why we're not doing this is giving people a sneak peek into what's going in your challenge groups. So I do this every single day, but I got to be honest with you. Last year, I gained 22 pounds. I wasn't a good challenger. I was checking in the groups. And I don't know if you guys are, probably in a challenge group with your upline, or maybe you haven't been in a challenge group with your upline and you're starting your very first challenge group and you've never been a part of them. That was me. I'd never been a part of one. I didn't even know how to start a group on Facebook. But last year, I went into my challenge groups and this is what I did. I said, you guys, I'm sick of running and sharing all the tools with you. I need to be right beside you. I've got to lose these 22 pounds and I need help. So I'm going to every single day come in here, provide tools, but I'm going to share with you where I'm at too. So you know that I just ate 6 pieces of cookies. You know that I had 10 pieces of cake, whatever it might be. But what I do on my social media to build my following in this area is I give them through Instagram stories or Instagram, whatever your platform is, I show them my challenge groups. I show them what I'm providing them with, recipes that I'm running right with them, that I've built a family. I built a family, not just, here's all of us just, checking and getting great results. No. They're a family. I run virtual Bible studies through my online groups. So I share that on social media, and it's been able to grow my following because it's my brand and who I am. I love Jesus. I love my family. I cuss a lot. I drink wine, and I'm always skipping. And so I share this through Instagram stories every single day. There's one other thing that has been a game changer. I'm pretty strict in my challenge groups, and I expect them to check in, because if I'm going to check in and try to lose 20 pounds, they better be too. So every Friday, without question, I expect every single challenge member to check in and share how they're doing, whether it's a non-scale victory or a scale victory. And as they do this in the challenge groups, I share as well. But I go on social media, and half the time I'm just ecstatic with my coffee and my dog running around, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person is down 20 pounds or 6 pounds. And I share on social media what's happening in the challenge groups. Oh, they followed this recipe. They did this. We're reading this book. We're growing our mind. All the things that we do as coaches, right? And so I started sharing this on Instagram stories, on Instagram, on your platform, letting them into your world of what's happening. We talk about challenge groups, but we're not showing them the magic, because that's where it happens. The other thing I want to share that I think we overthink as coaches, and I do it every single day, and I get asked when I share, I invite every single day on my social media platform. Every single day, 7 days a week, I invite. And I get asked how. So I'm going to tell you how and why and what it looks like. But in all honesty, you guys, if I'm proof the product works, I'm checking in the challenge groups and I'm right beside them. We are a family. And I'm sharing this on social media, what's happening and how much I love these people, and that they're right there with me. Why would I not in that process say, why are you not here? Do you want to work with me? Why are you not doing this with me? I know that you feel the same way. So in my invitation, I'll share some of the stories through Instagram stories of these women, how they couldn't fit in their pants and they were broken and they were lost, but they read this book. They checked in with us. They have a family because they made a decision to start with me. Join us. Half the time, I think what happens is we really don't let people know they can be a part of it. We share. We're really good at sharing, but there's two things we forget: to grow our mind so that we have the confidence to share, and that we invite with just through the simple things that we're doing every single day. You're sharing, invite. And maybe you don't feel comfortable yet doing a video. I love videos through Instagram stories or wherever it might be going live. You share a post, you share a story behind maybe somebody's life that's being changed because they took a leap of faith. I know many new coaches, you don't have a challenge group yet. You don't have any of these stories to share, but you know what? You have a coach you joined, you're part of their team, you're part of their family. Why aren't you sharing what they're sharing? And that's where I really meet my team, as I say, you know what? I'm gonna run with you. You're gonna share your story, you're gonna check in, but I am no more different or special, and we're gonna do it together. But what you feed here and how you do it is what determines where you're going with this. So I hope I was able to give you guys some value on just how I've been able to grow my brand. And as I go through this process of sharing me through inviting and personal development and through my challenge groups, you have to show up every single day and just let them have a glimpse of your life. Let them into your heart and show them your struggles. Hey, I'm struggling with confidence. Hey, I'm struggling with this. I've got 20 loads of laundry. Can anybody relate? Here is how I'm staying positive through that. Here is how I'm staying motivated. I'm feeding the mind. I'm checking in with my badass group every single day that's crushing it. And together we are changing lives. So you show that this is possible through what you're already doing. Half the time people watch you guys and they just go, I wish I could do what you do, because you get up, you do a workout, you're reading a book. They can't even get out of bed half the time. Meet your people where they are. Let them know that you are no different, that you struggle with those same things. You've got that same life. You know, right now I've got a kid home with the flu. I've got laundry on the floor sitting right here in front of me, and I'm no more different or special than them. But I need to let them know. And I have to tell you guys, if there's one thing that you get from this call, I need you to know this. You need to do the personal development that is what you need in this season. Okay, because you have so many tools on this platform that were provided. Can I share something also that's been a game changer? Is I see so many, and I did for so long myself. I pretty much sucked at this. I was a collector of all this amazing information that were provided, and I wasn't a doer. So there's one thing I do every single day is I wake up and I say, what is my doing thing that I'm going to do today? Not my collecting. What am I going to do to grow my following? And how am I going to share by just being me? And I can't do any of that until I'm growing my mind and focusing on what it is that I need to do as a coach. Because as soon as I feed that mind, boom, I can share and give it on social media, build the trust, build that following so I get more eyes on me by them being able to relate to me. So instead of collecting this information, I encourage you guys, say, you know, hey, maybe one of these books you read and you're a doer, don't collect it. Go out there and put this out on social media today. Go out there and invite. Go out there and share what you're reading, what's making you grow, and make this your day one, right? For so long, I would watch other teams crush it, reading this book, doing that. And I just sat back and watched, and I was like, I don't know how they're doing this, because I wasn't doing what Rhonda needed to grow her confidence. Gotta share with you guys, I know you follow a lot of coaches and you feel so inspired by their stories, and you're like, how do they do everything they do? And you guys, they're just like you. They're reading a book, they're sharing it, right? They're inviting, keeping it simple. You know, half the time I'm going for a walk and I'm skipping and I'm grocery shopping. I'm like, hey, why are you not here? Make it simple. Your invite doesn't have to be this long post of, hey, I'm providing all this great stuff. No, just be you. Through that process, people look and they go, I can do this. So as when I first started as a coach, I honestly, sharing a picture of myself on social media was difficult. Setting goals daily was difficult. It really did start with these three things. And having a gut check of, am I actually doing them, or am I collecting them? And then this many years later, I can sit here and tell you guys, the person I was when I first started, all the time when I first became a coach, I got told I looked like Barbie. I got told I looked dumb. I got it all together. You already look fit. You know what? Those things have things I've carried my entire life and brought into this business. And it held me back for so long because of the vision that people thought I looked like. That now I can seriously, in my business this many years later, say, I know I will change your life. I know exactly who I am and who I'm taking with me. But it all started with me owning my own story and being a doer and saying, I'm going to listen to this because this is going to grow Rhonda. And as I do, I'm going to share it. And I'm going to ask people to join me in that as well. I'm going to be the best challenger ever. I don't know how many of you guys join a challenge group, or maybe you're running one where you just throw a bunch of stuff in there all the time. You're like, oh, here's a great recipe. Here's this. I want you to write down right now, are you doing that? I was. And then I wanted to know why I gained 22 pounds. So I went on social media, and to build my followings, I told them exactly what I was doing and how from that day forward, I was going to change it. I was going to be the best challenger. And this 22 pounds that you don't think I've gained and I can't fit in my pants, you're going to watch me be the Rhonda I used to be, and stronger. So I started owning that in my challenge groups instead of just showing up because the kids got things going on, the husband's traveling, whatever it might be. I started being the best challenger. And I have to be honest with you, it was the best thing I ever did. I had more energy, my results, and I'm able to share my transformation and my story on social media because I made that commitment last year. So ask yourself, am I being that challenger that's just half doing it? Right? I don't know if I can cuss on here. I was about ready to say a bad word there, Sandy. But I mean, like, honestly, I had to. And then inviting. It was the one thing that I like literally was like, oh, I can't do it. Nobody, why would somebody want to join me? This is my day one. Why wouldn't they want to join you? Right? So I started inviting because I joined an amazing team that had tools that I knew was going to change my life and theirs. So couple things I want you to ask yourself today. Are you feeding your mind with something that actually is going to grow your mind forward in this business? Or are you just reading a book because everybody else is reading it? Do you fall asleep reading a book like me? Because, oh my gosh, I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I fall asleep. I don't know what it is. So I do Audible. So maybe that's you. Maybe you can relate to that story. Start doing that. Take notes while you do it because you'll get those, you'll hear that, oh my gosh, go share it on social media. And then people go, oh, I can be just like her, right? Your inviting process. As you're going through your transformation, why are you not inviting? There is nothing less motivating to me personally to somebody that shares the end of their transformation. I'm more motivated through the process of watching you struggle because you make me feel like I can be you. So when I want to grow my following, I'm going to share those struggles on my following. I'm going to share those so that people, when they follow me, they go, oh my gosh, she just said exactly what I want to share. The other day, I shared my husband, we go to the grocery store and I swear my whole cart is full of ice cream. And I'm like, does anybody else have the same struggle? I'm just trying to eat good. And here my husband is sabotaging me. And through my stories and through me sharing all the things that we're already doing, I'm able to connect and show people that I'm just like them. Because what people see, you guys, they see you crushing it. They see you doing such a great job. But then they don't want to join you because they're like, I don't see that she's like me. So how can you relate to your people today so that you can grow your following? I know you want more eyes on your following. You want more people to follow you so that you can build this relationship for life. I never go, oh my gosh, I just sold a challenge pack. I think about that I have a friendship and a relationship for life that I built because somebody watched me just do me. Share my personal development, my struggles through it, share the challenge group, how I'm getting amazing results because that's where it starts. Stop skipping it. And then inviting, hey babe, you know what? You can join me on this process and I'll help you. And then ask yourself if you're being a doer or a collector.
I am floored. I'm telling you, everything that you have said today has impacted so many. I have a few things that I want to go back to. First of all, your book suggestions in the beginning were fantastic, but I wanted to share with everybody that her book suggestions were not just, this is a great book, you should read it. She said, this is a great book because it helped me build my confidence or it helped me with this. So that's a great thing to think about when you're recommending a book or an audio to someone. Why? Because I was struggling with confidence. So the collector of information instead of a doer. I want you to share with this audience, Rhonda, what you shared with me on how you listen to the wake-up call every week. What do you do?
Absolutely. It gives me goosebumps to think about it because it's the one thing that has completely changed my business. We have all these amazing calls that you guys get to be on. And there's so much information that sometimes you walk away and go, oh my gosh, where do I start? So every call that I'm on, or I listen to the National Wake Up Call, I walk away, and I'm going to have my team do this as soon as we get off, and I say, what is one thing today that you will implement from this call? And I want to hear what it is. So I encourage you guys to do this out loud, but also have your teams do this. What is one thing that today, and then go out and share it. Say, this is the one thing that I'm going to change, because we can honestly collect all this information and be like, wow, that was so helpful. That she made me think of that. I was like, wow, what was that? Sorry, that she was like me, right? They related to you, you related to me, whatever it might be, and then you don't do anything with it. So today, what is that one thing that you could do that would move your business forward so that you could be a doer, not a collector? And then make it happen today.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So to close out the call, you've done a fantastic job already. Personal fulfillment. What has coaching done for you? And you can close out.
Absolutely. Oh gosh. Oh, I was telling my husband yesterday as I did my post about the leading up to this call and how I failed 8th grade. And I literally, my first grade teacher told me I was stupid. And it sounds funny, but those do carry on with you through life. And all of my life, I felt dumb, stupid, not smart. And it's really affected my growth and just who I am as a mother, a wife, as a leader. So I can tell you guys, the biggest thing that I can take away, and obviously there's financial aspects and all those things are wonderful, but the person I become, I am smart. I know exactly who I am and who I'm taking with me. I'm not dumb. I am exactly, for me, who God created me to be. I am silly. I own that silly. I am loud. I am who I am. And I'm so proud to share that on social media. And I am damn smart. So if I can do this, I know you guys can do this.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. This was a great call, and I know that coaches that are new to the call got a lot out of it. So I really thank you so much for sharing your personal story. I just think about your beginnings and how people boxed you in, and you proved them wrong.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. And I hope that everybody got so much from it. So have a great day. Thank you.
Yes, and you know what? I was looking through all of my affirmations, and I had this one that was exist to be happy. Did you see it? Exist to be happy, not to impress. I'm saying that because she was not out to impress anybody. She was just out to be the best Rhonda she could be, you know? So think about that. What's the best that you can be, and be a doer today. So have a great day, great week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.